Hi.
Man, check your video once. Yep, everything is cool. Audio, you can hear me? Like, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
My face too dark in here.
Okay, I'll make both of you co-host. Okay.
Okay.
Sriram Bharadwajas. Manoj, rename yourself.
Sorry.
You can admit everybody and you can do stuff.
Back in a minute.
Welcome, people. Can you hear me? Thumbs up, or you can unmute yourself and speak, or you can tell me in the chat. Cool. So, one rule that we have is remove your numbers and rename yourself to any nickname which you will love. Any nickname. It could be John Cena. It could be anything. So we're all chilling today, so not an issue. But no roll numbers.
Is there anything I missed?
Come again?
Have I missed anything? I've been AFK for a minute.
Nothing. Yoru, nice nickname, dude. Dad jokes. So yeah, already I've put like two to three dad jokes here and there. Manoj, remove the waiting room, dude. I seriously have no clue how to remove it. Done? Cool.
Done.
I'm such a boomer, dude. I don't know how to remove it. Manoj, mute yourself. So before people join, if you guys, you guys can ask me anything, like anything. You can turn your voice on, or you can text us in everyone, or you can text us in private. It's up to you. Okay, I'll just share the cute presentation which I did.
Hello.
Yeah, who's it?
Oh, Abbas. Yeah.
Yo, hi Abbas, how are you, dude?
And how are you?
Fine. So,
Is this series? Is this like a series or just one?
it's a series. It's a series.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll tell you more in detail. So yeah, we'll address this question.
Yep.
Nikita, Monisha, no numbers. Turn it into your nickname. Anything you like. Like mine, actual name is Jaydeep, but I prefer people calling me Jay, so that is how I've renamed myself. Numbers are not cool. I think Manoj Hemant is in the audience. Make him a co-host. Is this just a simple basic C++ tutorial, or we are going to make anything? Well, we'll be covering the language in and out, and there is also a special library called as STL, which supports C++. So we'll be learning that STL. So we're not going to build anything in the first episode, but surely we'll do in the upcoming episodes. We'll discuss them more. Cool question. Any more questions? Anything? Just keep shooting them, bro. Wants to learn data structures in Python, but unable to find the right source. Yeah, we'll help you out. And who's that asking? Sai Kiran, remove the roll number from your name, buddy. You got a really sexy name, Kiran. So yeah, remove the number. Number sucks. Well, at least the first years have really cool roll numbers, you know, with alphabets and all. Man, damn, I didn't get any. Okay, cool. We have Mahendra, we have Mahesh, we have Tanmay, my bad bro. We have Matthew, we have Meghana, Monisha, Sai Kiran, Saket, Satvika, Trisha, Vamsi, Yash, Yoru. Cool. Nice to meet you all. Yeah.
I have no permission to make him Hemant.
Okay, I'll make him.
So
I'll
you
make
make
him
him.
host. Yeah. Okay. Hemant, are you getting all the privileges? Up, thumbs up, or you can turn your mic on.
Yeah, Jay, I'm getting.
Okay, cool. So just in case, just for backup, we are having 3 co-hosts. So yeah, simple. So we're not expecting many participants today. We'll come to that point also. So we'll be addressing many things. This is something very new that we're doing. I think, like, if I can say, this is one of a kind of events which in Geetham. I've never heard of this themed event. So we'll learn more about it. What is the time now?
35.
Cool. So Sriram, it's you're the guest and you're the host, so it's your choice. So do you want to start now, or you wait for more 2 minutes?
I think we just dropped a message at 3:32, so I think we can wait till 3:40 and begin.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. Where are you guys from? You can just type in the chat or open your mic and tell where you guys are from. Like, you have 3 campuses, right? Hyderabad, Bangalore, Vizag. Arshita, please remove the roll number from your name. Okay, Sai Kiran is from Hyderabad. Okay, Sai Kiran, agent. Nice. Cool. Can we try the poll out? Because first time I'm having my hands on a premium account. So no polls. Okay. So how many questions do we have now? So Abbas asked if this is a series or like a simple event. We'll address that. And Yoru asked if this is like a basic C++ tutorial or we're going to do anything. We'll address that also. And Sai Kiran's question we'll discuss. Learn data structures in Python. We'll discuss. Okay. So Sriram will start.
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. So first things first, we'll introduce ourselves. So the person who's speaking now, it's me. My name is Jay. Jaydeep. You can all call me Jay. I'm from 3rd year from Bangalore, and I'm the tech lead of CodeX. So okay, cool. Hi, Matthew. If you have any questions, put it in the all chat. So because if I'm speaking, I'll be not looking at the chat. You can perhaps ask it to Manoj or Hemant, who are the co-hosts. You can put the questions to them, or you can just put, I recommend you to put all the questions in the open chat because so that others can also read and they can let me know, because when I'm talking, I'll not be able to see the chat. Okay. So anyways, my name is Jaydeep. I'm from third year Bangalore campus, and I'm the tech lead of CodeX. So today we're going to start a special series from CodeX. So we'll talk more about the series, but then I have to introduce you my partner, Sriram.
Take it from here. Hi everyone, this is Sriram. I'm from Vizag campus, second year CSC, and I've been a member of CodeX since September of last year, and I'm just an agent here. So this series was brought forth by our tech lead Jaydeep because he wants us to learn more about the concepts that he knows and we doesn't. So here it is C++. I have no idea about C++. I just know it's a programming language and it's the go-to programming language for many competitive programmers. And that's it I know. And now he's going to teach me things. And one thing I have to say, everything that happens here is totally unscripted. It's not like a regular workshop. Everything is unscripted, and whatever we speak, it is just what we want to speak on the spot. Decisions are being made on the spot.
Yes.
Everything is unscripted.
So my fellow, he just told you everything. So I'll just I'll just be breaking things down in a more depth. So yeah, thanks for explaining them. So it's not I will not be teaching anything, but rather I will be learning with Sriram as well. Just in this case, okay, let's just enter, dude. So yeah, we are going to host a series of episodes where we'll be uploading each episode to our YouTube channel and Twitch also. So basically, this is like kind of a series where we go and will be for each season, that is each academic year, we'll be doing at least 6 episodes, and each episode will cover one or the other thing. So keeping that apart, so what on earth is Boring Show? So basically, this Boring Show was inspired from another Boring Show. That is actually, maybe you can call us like a copying, but still, this is inspired from another Boring Show where it's a really famous show where people build projects and they build it from scratch. So they don't plan anything prior to the particular event. They just go in, they just pick viewers' ideas and just build the project. So what happens now? So what happens now is when you don't plan stuff, you are more prone to, hit dead ends, there'll be a lot of mistakes which you do. So we want to show you guys that everybody will go through the mistakes, everybody will hit dead ends. But the thing is, being a developer or if you want to build something, you have to always embrace the fact that errors will be coming and bugs, the dead ends, you'll always hit dead ends. So we want to show you the fact that everybody hits dead ends and how you'll come out of it. So because we'll not be scripting this ahead before the show, everything is like quite fresh. So I'll let you know how things work. Now, for every episode, we'll have someone from the audience to join the show. Now, Sriram, we put this inside the CodeX agent, so he wanted to join and he wanted to learn C++. So this show's topic, this first episode's topic, is Sriram's idea to learn C++. Okay, so we didn't plan anything. So Sriram wanted to learn C++. Now, what do? In this episode, me and Sriram sit together and we kind of learn C++. So while in this process, we might hit a lot of dead ends because there's nothing, we didn't prepare anything. This PPT, like while I hosted this meeting, I just did this 3 slides. So yeah, there's nothing we did before. So what are the benefits of this? Benefits of this is you'll get to know from scratch how we'll be doing. So the one biggest quality which every developer has to know is how to Google stuff. So we'll be basically showing you how we get out of a lot of dead ends we hit and all. So that is what the Boring Show is about. How will it benefit you? So there will be 3 benefits. The first benefit is, if you as a viewer, you are like, okay, I have this very good idea, but I currently don't have the skill set, or I'm not sure if I can do it or not. So you can come join us. So we will pick the right person or a good person is a person who is good with the particular skill set, which will help you develop the project and will put you in an episode. Okay. For example, Abbas wants to make an app. Okay. He wants to make an app which does so and so things, but he is not confident enough to do it on his own. So he can join us on the show. So we will help him, or he'll also help us in building the project together on the live show episode. So what happens here? Everybody will know how we are going to build the app, like what and all things we do, how we are going to hit dead ends and all. So this is one benefit. Second thing, if you're like a shy camera person, you don't have to come, but you have to just throw your ideas on us. We will pick really cool ideas and we'll implement them on a particular show. So these are the things. And thirdly, if you don't have any ideas or if you don't want to develop a project, just come on, go get some snacks and just watch us. Yeah, cool. So Abbas, did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. So that is it. So coming to today's so yeah, Sridhar, what do you want to learn?
Learn everything about C++ from the scratch, from the
Okay.
most basic program. I want to be able to print some patterns or run some loops. I want to be in that stage.
Okay, cool. So well, nice. So where do we start? Can you share your screen?
You want me to share the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so just be sharing your screen, and before that, just be talking like what is your experience, like what's your experience, what language you've learned, and all, so that people will know what's your skill set.
Okay, coming to programming languages, I'm quite fluent in Python and I'm pretty decent in Java as well. But as compared when I compare both of them, I'm better at Python and I'm still learning Java.
Okay.
And now I want to venture into C++.
Oh boy.
So that's my present skill
pointers
set.
is a new thing for you.
Pointers is I have no idea about them. Just a little thing that they point to some memory address,
Cool.
something I heard earlier.
Nice. So you'll be witnessing a lot of C++ stuff. So yeah, share your screen.
Okay.
Feel free to interrupt us and talk to us. And
this is my Chrome homepage.
nice. Cool. So what I do generally is whenever I want to learn a language, I'll tell you my skill set to the viewers. So yeah, you should be asking me my skill set too. So anyways, my skill set is I know C++, I know C++, I know Java, I know a bit of like 5 to 6 languages. I learned this because I wanted to do a few projects in them. So that is how I learned them. So in and out, I know about 5 languages. So Java, JavaScript, C++, Dart, C, Python. So I know these languages. So how I learned them. So if I want to learn a language, what I generally do is I'll just search. There's a website called as Tutorial Point. Like there'll be many websites which will guide you through learning something. Well, if you are a kind of a person who wants to learn stuff from videos, then obviously in YouTube there are like dozens and dozens of videos which will teach you. If you are a person who likes to read stuff like a book, textbook or something, well, you would rather read an article and then learn stuff from that. So I'm a person, well, for me videos don't work that much, so I would like to read a book or something. So yeah, first things which I'll do is, so yeah, Sriram, what kind of a person are you?
Reader.
Nice, excellent. Because if had you like if you had told video, then I would have like been, yeah, we're talking about this is obviously a video. You don't have to go to YouTube. So yeah, just search Tutorial Point.
Tutorials point, right?
Yeah, Tutorials Point. Okay, someone in the chat has told I want to make a small script which will auto scroll in Instagram. Maybe not relevant today. It is totally relevant, dude. You can talk anything you want, and yeah, we can maybe build that in one next episode maybe. So we'll be sending out a form as a feedback form when this will end, when this event will end. So that time, if you want to join us in the next episode, you can give your ideas or you can just share anything you want. Yeah. Yep. Now, okay, I don't know. You can just search Tutorial Point CPP. So one thing which I have to tell to the viewers is this is not intended to have a large number of audience, because these videos are intended to go on YouTube and on social media platforms, so that we gain traction there. But still, we can have audience to interact and solve your doubts on the go. So just imagine you're watching a stream You can just sleep and have your phone and you can just watch us like that. So yeah, you can just chill and watch. Okay, wait, I'll share you the link. Yep, got it. I'm sharing that in the chat. Where is that? If you want, you can open this, guys, because, but yeah, it's up to you. You can enjoy the show as well. So people have joined now. You can rename yourself to a nickname. Like my dear friend, he has renamed himself to Yoru. Quite a cool choice, gentlemen. Yep.
Yeah, WC
So,
schools is a good one. I use it for fast reference before examinations of module days. It's a good one.
nice, cool to hear. So what I generally did is basically, if I want to learn a new language, I just come and I'll see what all are there in that particular language. So take a look and try to, compare it to the language which you're getting comfortable with. Like in your case, it's Python, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, Python and Java.
Yeah. So whichever you're comfortable, just try to, kind of,
I'll try to compare
them. So left side, you'll have all these particular things. So just read them and tell if they are there in your language or not. So there is comments. Obviously, you have comments in every language. Yeah.
Variables, input, data types, operators, string, math, booleans, conditions, switch, loop, break, continue, arrays, references. References and pointers are new here.
You don't know. Totally new.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And going to functions.
And functions we have in everything. Overloading and there is overriding. I think overriding is missing.
Okay, cool. Nice.
For this.
So
Then
cool.
Files, exceptions, constructors, these things we know. That's
Nice.
it. So references and pointers are new topics. And the syntax, of course.
Okay, cool. So now, first things first, can two people share the screen?
I think there's no option here. We have that in Discord only.
Okay, now mind. So we'll be running the code online for 2 to 3 programs, and then we'll start doing it on your system. So obviously, you need to have something on your system to do stuff right. So yeah, open a new tab and you can go like online C++ compiler or something. Don't worry, guys. We'll be going from scratch. Okay. So if you genuinely want to learn C++, then sit and stick to the screen and look at me, look at him, look at the screen. You'll get C++ by the end.
Okay. There are different types of C++ here. Which one should I select?
So that
There's
is
a Turbo C and a C++ 20.
Yeah. So rule number one. Don't forget this. There are 2 rules. Rule number 1: never use C. Never use Turbo C or Turbo C++, because that is gone. That is gone for good. Okay. Rule number 2: follow rule number 1. Okay. Never ever touch Turbo C. I know that we in academics we use Turbo C. If you can search in Google Turbo C, but that is deprecated. Deprecated meaning it's no longer you should not use it anymore. So it is checked by the developers who developed Turbo C. So never ever use Turbo C. It is gone. It's old school. Okay. Now coming to this, well, how many people know C? Raise your hands. Well, I mean, obviously virtually raise your hands. How many of you know C language? Nobody. Okay, that is not there in the new curriculum, right? My bad. Okay, so to explain you how C is like a junior language. C is like a junior language in compared to C++, but you don't have to learn C++ in order to learn. You don't have to learn C in order to learn C++. So these 2 things are completely different. Now coming to the versions, so every 3 to 4 years once, a new version will be released depending on what they want to release. So always pick the latest version. That's all. Good rule of thumb. Always pick the latest version. Yeah, because you'll have all the features from in the previous versions. And you'll also have new features which are not there in the previous versions. So it's a no-brainer. You have to always pick the latest version. Pick C++20. Okay. Now, so this is a boilerplate hello world thing. So let's see what is there in the structure. Just remove the commands node. Okay, cool. So now open a new tab and online Python or Java, whichever you like. Not GDB, dude. Okay, in GDB.
Okay, in GDB, I will select it.
My bad.
Okay, Python.
Okay, now just put these two screens each other. Like, yeah, you got my
1
point.
minute, will do.
We have to share the whole screen, no? Ah, nice. Can you just fold this online blue color thing? Fold.
I think it's not possible.
No, you can. There's a icon, see there, for folding.
Okay,
After that, yeah. Nice. You should remove the comments there also in Python also. How many of you know Python? Holy moly. Nice. So a lot of you know Python. Cool. So really a nice choice, Sriram, because many of the viewers know Python. So what we'll be doing is we'll be comparing stuff parallelly. Okay. So yeah, let's do. So this will be a little disappointing because writing hello world in Python is just one line thing, whereas writing hello world here is 10 lines. So what is the different structure and all? So coming to the differences, because a lot of you know Python is an interpreted language, right? And C++ is a compiled language. So what is interpreted and what is compiled? So basically, whenever you write your code, you're basically writing it in some kind of a text. You're writing some text in a file, okay? And then if your machine wants to understand what's the text is written in the file, you have to you have to convert it into a language which your machine can understand. Okay, so there are many ways to convert from the text to the particular language which your machine can understand. So there are two popular ones are interpreting, and other one is compiling. So now what is the differences? In C++, this is how it works. You write the code, you compile it. When you're compiling, what happens is there is like a compiler. It's like a you can tell it's like a police officer. So the compiler looks your code and it will kind of tell you if there is anything wrong before execution. So it will go through every line. Okay, you can just take the semicolon out in the 7th line. Okay, now try and run. See, it's compiling below. You can see the police, the officer is telling you that, dude, where is the semicolon? It's expected to have a semicolon. It's also telling you which line it is from. You can see main.cpp. The file name is main.cpp. And at which line? 7th line. Ignore the 24th. 24 is basically character, at which character. So you can see. So the compiler will give you neat instruction. The errors, neat instructions to what exactly is going on wrong. So if I'm writing this code, I'll just come, okay, in 7th line, in 24th character, there is something missing. So it's expecting a semicolon. So I'll just go back to my code. In 7th line, I have my cout thing. So I'll put a semicolon there. So this is how compiler works. It will kind of go through your code. It will see all the rules and regulations. It will have rules and regulations predefined. It will go through it. It will kind of, it will check everything and it will tell you what is wrong before executing. So the machine doesn't know anything. The compiler will let you know. But whereas in interpreted, what happens is you directly run the code. That is, you directly convert the text format, regardless of whether it's having any mistakes or not. You convert it to, how do I put it, in an executable file. That is in machine language. So the machine now, while running, it will tell you that, dude, there is some kind of a mistake. You can try and delete a semicolon, not semicolon. My bad. The parenthesis in Python. Yeah, right now. See, it did not tell compiling. See, whereas in C++ it told compiling, because the compiler will do stuff first and then it will turn into machine code. And when executing, there will be no sort of errors which will bounce back. There are sort of errors, but not compile time errors. Here, you can you can see here in line 2, it is telling unexpected end of file while passing. But who's telling this? The machine is telling to you, but not the compiler. So there is nothing in between to tell you beforehand that there is some kind of an error. Okay, so that is what is the difference between a compiler and an interpreter. Do you understand, Sriram? Okay, cool. Now, coming to the language specific things. So Python is very, very, very simple when compared to other languages, but you also have to, go through the few negative points also, because what happens is Python, the executable files will be huge because it has to tell your system that how to interpret your code. Whereas in C++, what happens, it is already having a compiler which will kind of eat the code and vomit it out as an executable code. So there is nothing your machine has to know. It will just go, it will bring the executable code and it will follow the instructions. But here it will also have instructions to interpret your language, to interpret the particular main.py, the file. So there's a lot of stuff going on other than your main logic. Okay, so here's the part when it comes. So if you're developing something where there's a very tough time constraint and there are very low resources, then you'll always prefer C++, because what happens, you only have to dump the executable file. What does the executable file contain? The code's logic, the code's instructions. It's there in the executable file. Whereas in Python, you'll also have the instructions to how to change this particular Python text file to more clearer instructions, because there is no compiler in between. So Python is having a lot of positive points with regards to developer needs, but it is not having a lot of positives when it comes to machine level stuff. So basically, C++ will have every day C++ will have an edge over Python on performance. So this is one thing. Okay, now moving on to the code. So Sriram, I want you to just go and make a try and explain me the code.
The first line says hash include IO stream. I think it's something about connecting the compiler to the input stream here. I mean, in Python, as you said, we are interpreting it all as a file, but here we're taking input directly. So we need to connect to the input output modules. That is what I think it is. And then using namespace std, I have no idea. I think it's some module or something related to IO stream.
Cool. Nice guess. Brilliant guess.
C++ is an object-oriented language, so okay, I don't see a class here, but okay, I'll try to.
Functional.
It's a function. It's not a class.
Yeah.
And int is the return type, just like in Java. We should first use the return type and then the function followed by parentheses. And there are no arguments required here, so empty parentheses. I mean, there are no parameters for this function, so empty parentheses. And then there is something cout and angles hello world. So I guess.
So yeah, some crazy other world stuff.
Hello world, the angle thing look like an arrow. So hello world will be sent to cout. So
nice.
cout, I think it's compiler out or something about the output stream, which we.
So good guess. C is console output.
Okay, console output, right? Console
damn
output.
good. You're too good for a first timer.
Okay, have some idea in Java, so with the input output stream, so kind of easy to guess.
Okay. So,
and then return 0, it's the function return value. Awesome. It will exit the function.
Well said. So as you have told, almost like he got it 60% right. So now coming to the first line, well, Python has a lot of inbuilt things, but whereas when you want to import some cool libraries, I don't know. Sriram, you have to be teaching Python now to me. So is there any library which will import?
We don't, like for regular things, we don't have to import anything, but for mathematical operations or tables stuff.
Yeah, so import math, something you'll do,
import
right?
Math, yeah. Yes, we'll do that.
Yeah, I have, it's been a long time me touching Python, so I don't have that much fluency as compared to Sriram. So,
basically in Python, you will be having a module for everything.
Oh, nice.
Everything.
So as I told, if you want to do a lot of complex stuff, then you'll be importing stuff. So other than that, you won't be importing anything. So coming to C++, you have to improve. If you want to do anything, you have to be importing a lot of stuff. Now, why are we including hash include IOStream is because we are outputting stuff here. So cout belongs to IOStream. So for now, as a beginner, you don't have to worry about the libraries and stuff. Okay, there are different libraries for different things which you will be using. But in C++, there is a trick where if you include just one library, it will include all the essential libraries. We'll be going through that later. So basically, the first line means hash include is include this particular library which is called as IOStream. Okay, and now coming to the third line, using namespace std, ignore it. Okay, ignore it. It's not a beginner level thing, but just assume that, okay, if you are not going to use that, can you comment the third line out?
What's the comment syntax in C++?
It's double slash.
Double
I don't know,
slash.
backslash.
Okay.
Yeah, cool, you got it.
Same as Python.
Dude, it's Python, it's hash, dude.
For okay, Java, right?
Yeah, dude, you're getting confused.
Java single line comment is back double slash.
Okay, you can run this now. See, it's telling cout was not declared in the scope. You can ask me why, like you told us that cout is from IOStream, but why is it linked with std? So now, say it's recommending, the compiler is recommending. See, these are the benefits which you get when you use a compile time language. It's telling, dude, at 7th line, you don't know what cout is, but did you mean std cout? What you can do is Sridham. So there, it's recommending us to do something, right? std cout.
Yeah.
Is namespace already imported? Well, there will be very basic things inside the like reserved keywords, because you can't like it's just like asking is int already imported. Dude, if there are any questions, you guys have to let us know, Manoj and Hemant, because I'll be talking, right? I'll not be seeing the chat. If you ask, put something in chat, you can just raise your hand, okay, so that I'll check the chat. So we have a few questions. Is namespace relate is already imported? So it's like keywords, okay, because you can see int is there over there. So int is a keyword. So there's nothing you have to import for that. So namespace is also a keyword. We'll go into stuff. So I'm just explaining how the structure of the simple hello world is. Now just copy std cout and replace cout with it too. Are module and library same? Well, okay, in Python everything is in modules, right?
We have modules inside libraries in Python.
Okay, I guess it is same. Well, let me Google.
Library, if you think module as a file, then library is a folder. Like that.
So cool. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Now you can run this. See.
It's working.
Yeah. So basically, if you are not using that particular third line, you have for every line of code which includes stuff from IOStream, you have to be doing this std : and stuff. So you don't have to worry about that much as a beginner. You can just go back. You can remove std. Yeah, now you can run it once. Okay. Now what we're going to do? We will we'll just tell. How do I put it? We'll just tell. Just add two numbers. Which program, basic program you want to do?
Adding two numbers is a good one to start.
Okay. So write the program in Python. Not more than 30 seconds for you. And given that your typing speed is lol.
That's it.
Where is the output? Where maybe the thing.
Yeah, now it's this.
Nice. Cool. And do the same thing here.
I hope it works.
Nice.
Okay, but they were in
But
the
it's
same
sticking
line.
it. It is sticking it,
Ah,
isn't it?
yeah.
So why I told you why this came here is because print when you're using print, it will automatically insert an end line, that is \n to the end. You know, you can actually override it, right? Comma end is equal to space. You can
Yes,
put that and you can override in print. But in C++, there is nothing like that. You have to do it. So there is a thing called as after the hello world string, put more this angle brackets. I don't know,
Okay,
less than
in
symbols.
next line or yeah?
See there only, you can put there only.
Okay, angle brackets. Okay.
Yeah. And then you write endl, endl. You read that as end line. Okay. Now you can run.
Oh, it's in a different line.
Different line. So what end line does is it will kind of it'll end the line. That's it. As simple as the name sounds. That's all. So now stop sharing your screen. I'd like to take over from here. Okay, just don't close the tabs. We'll come back. What's your typing speed, dude?
Generally about 70.
My God. So should I zoom in? Is it
It's
okay?
good. Yeah.
Let's do interactive console and then yeah. Now, as he told, this is for importing library, and just ignore this namespace thing. So just assume that if you're not writing that particular std, you'd have to write this std out, then std handle. So this is something called as a scoping scope accessing thing. So it is a little bit complex for a beginner. So just ignore it. We'll keep things simple. Zoom in more, please. Cool. Now is it okay?
But we want the console also to be visible, right? So at that time we can do.
I'll just pull it up. Yeah.
Ah.
Cool. So now you'd have to write this. So just ignore this. Just delete that. Pretend that you know what using namespace std is. Okay, that is what I did in beginning. That is what all my friends who learned C++ did. Believe me, it's not that I don't know how to teach it, but it's something you have to just pretend you know that. Okay. Now coming to this, what did he do? He did this 1 + 2. Okay. Now let me run this. Yeah, got it. Hello world and 3. Cool. Now, so there are two types of basic things which you have to understand. C++ is a functional language. Okay, Sriram. So we have a main function here. The entry will enter here. So it's not like the execution will start from here. It will start from it will compile obviously first. While executing, it will start from this line. And then it goes on like that. Okay. So now let's go back to the W3 schools link, which
So
I
in
gave you.
Java, for everything we need a class. So here for everything we need a function, right?
Function, main function. Yeah.
Okay.
In Python, everything goes from first line. Okay, there's no such thing as a main function. In C++, it's a functional oriented language. So things start inside a function. Okay, cool. Yeah. So there is another way to write this also. You can comment this out. And what you can do is you can just add this and write 1 + 2. Instead of C what again. Okay. Now this is somewhat same like writing print and then hello world, put a comma and then you do 1 + 2. But the only difference is, let's just I'll remove this. Okay, now let's see what happens. Now what will be the output here? The output will be hello world and 3, right? Hello world and then 3. This will be the output. But in Python, there will be a space inserted implicitly without mentioning. But here what happens, we'll see. There is no space. So if you want a space, what you could do is you can again insert something like this. You can do. So don't worry about that. While learning more about data types, we learn. So I'll just teach you how to take input and output, and then we'll jump into the C++ tutorial thing and just go through everything from scratch. So if you want to take input, let's just declare a variable. So in Python, how it is, you just do a is equal to input. Then you basically do other more operations if you want. Okay. And if you want to change the data type of a, what will you do? Help me, Sriram.
One converted to string a equals to string of a or a equals to float.
Whatever the data type of, you'll do casting like this. In C++, you can directly do this. Declare the data type. What is the variable's data type towards the left, and the name, and then you can also initialize stuff. So I'll break this. So here's how it is. Data type. Okay, what is the data type of the variable? And then variable name. And then the value. So this is a structure of where you initialize things. What happens if you don't initialize stuff? Okay. So let's assume I didn't do anything. Okay. And I'll write a new variable called as b. And I will print b. How do you print b? Like this. C out and then b. Just run. Let's see what base value is. So the default values will be allocated. Okay. Now for every data type, there will be different default values. So we'll learn more about that when we're learning different data types. Now coming to the input part. One way is you'll obviously declare the value while writing the code here. Okay. The other way around is, see this. Here's how you take input. That simple it is. Now try to guess what it is. Yeah, Sriram.
Earlier we had the value of hello world will go to C out. Here from C in it's directed to A. So whatever we enter in C input, it will be sent to the variable A.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. You got it almost right. So what is CN? Maybe a small guess.
Console input.
That's all. That's all. So this is console input. So you can write as many variables as you want. B, C, D, E, something on that. So they can be of different data types. They can be anything. Whatever the data type it is, it will take. So if I'm giving A, it will see the data type first. Okay, what is the data type of A? It is integer. So it will check the nearest number and it will take that number. Okay, so let me just write this. Now I'll write int A comma B and I'll do C in. You can declare like that also in a single line. So I'll just do C in A, then B. Okay. So in a single line, I'm taking input. One big difference here is, doesn't matter how many spaces you give. Let's suppose I'm giving a lot of spaces. Okay, and then I'm giving 4, and then I'm giving a lot of spaces, and then I'm giving 5. Okay, I'm not printing anything. My bad. I'll just do A, and then I'll print A. Then I'll do a endl, and then I'll print B, and then I'll print B, and then I'll do endl. Okay. Is there anything confusing? Fine. No. So here I'm printing a value which I've given, and after printing that, it will print the value of A, and then it will end the line, and then afterwards it will print this string, and afterwards it will print the variable, and afterwards it will end the line. Okay.
So it's analogous to comma in Python, right? Arrow marks. We separate things with arrow marks in Python. Here we use bracket.
Yes.
Like that.
Yep. So now I'll run. Okay. Now I'll give 4 here. I'll give a lot of spaces. I'll give 5 here. See, so it doesn't matter where you give the number in the particular console. So it will go search, and whichever is a next integer, it will put it inside the A. Okay. So even if I give it in different lines, is my internet cool? Can you hear me?
I can hear, but the page it's
Yeah, it's kind of looking dead.
I can share the screen if you
Yeah.
send me the code.
Yeah. I'm sending the code in chat. You can just drag that out, like like that. Drag it out.
Okay. So this is the code.
Input one line, one number in the first line, and hit enter twice, and then input one more number here. See, you have this comfort in C++, where wherever the input is coming, regardless of what you want. If you want to read an integer, regardless of it is in the first line or in the last line, it will always read it. But whereas in Python, you're reading everything line by line, so it is a little bit hectic when you want to read stuff. Okay, so this is it with input. So if you want to take input, you do C in, that is console input. If you want to omit stuff out, you do C out. Okay, so you can see the arrow marks. How do you remember the arrow marks? Well, the C out arrow marks are kind of pushing stuff out. Well, C in it is kind of
Pushing into A.
Yeah, the data. So yeah, just you can remember however you want, but just get practice. Okay, so if there's anybody who knows any way to remember them, yeah, put it in the chat box. People will be helped. So yeah, you can open W3 schools. Let us cover things. Okay, cool. Just in the right, in the left side, topics index. Let's go up. Okay, yeah, go to the next topic. There's all, if you want, you could read, but I'll not recommend them. Yeah, let's go to syntax. Yeah. See, it's telling.
Program.
Yeah.
Add-on file library.
See, even what they're telling, don't worry if you don't understand how hash include and use namespace works, because that is something which you'll learn when you kind of complete C++. So just pretend that you understand.
Think of it as something that almost always it is.
Yeah. So just pretend you understand them. Okay, cool. Well, learning more, you'll understand.
Blank line C++ across space, but we make it to use code. Okay, this is what we did right now.
Yeah.
We put some spaces and we give the second input. Nevertheless, it worked. The plain, it's called the function. Any code inside correctness will be executed. Okay. So it's an object to insertion operator. So its name is right. Now
so I think we covered almost everything. And semicolon, dude. People from Python, it might be a pain in the ass to use the semicolon, but believe me, it will be a lot of the code will look more sexy if you use semicolon. Okay, regardless of it's little bit tiring or what, but it looks sexy. Okay. Yep, we also covered this omitting namespace. How does it look? So just ignore them. Okay. Almost after 1 year, I understood what is the use of STD, but still till then I was learning. I was using C++ a lot, so you don't have to worry about that. Now go to output. Yep. One more thing. In Python, is everything objects?
It doesn't have to be object. They say it's an object-oriented language, but it's very loosely object-oriented.
Okay, so I don't know about Python that much, but in Java, everything is
in Java. Everything should be in a class.
Everything is an object. That is, if you declare a number, that is an object. If you declare a
no. Numbers don't have to be objects necessarily. They can be primitive types which are not objects, but
But they are
Object-oriented nature
inherently
of by Java is about classes. Everything should be in a class.
yeah, but the data types, they are inherently objects.
Every class is creates a new data type of object.
Yeah.
Every class.
So if you're using a number called int a is equal to 3.
Int a is not it's not an object, but we can convert it into integer is an object. Int is not an object. There are two things in Java.
Okay, but they basically tell that everything is an object. Okay.
String and everything is an object.
Yeah,
Boolean.
in C++ also everything can be seen as an object. Okay, so basically what happened is Java came out and people got jealous and they did C++ with Java features. So that is how it is. Now going back, here it is telling that you can add as many as objects in the cout thing. Okay, however you want. So you can just scroll more a little down. So this is how you output stuff and all. So you can click next.
There are two ways. One is the handle and one is slash. Okay.
Yep. So in Python users, they know, right? The backslash n is a thing. So yeah, we can just go to data types and then we'll start solving questions. Because there is a thing in always which I have to really tell you, the lesson which I've learned. So there is this thing. How we have grown up is, at least how I've grown up is, if you want to learn a subject, then there will be a lot of prerequisites which you have to know. Okay. For example, if you want to do integration in math, which we had in 12th standard, you had to know the differential calculus, and you also had to know algebra. Okay, so these are the prerequisites which you need to know. For example, if somebody had skipped learning differential calculus, then it will be hard time learning integral calculus. So what they do is they basically cover everything from scratch, whatever the prerequisites are they cover, and then they'll start solving questions in solving problems in integral calculus. But that is how we were taught. So what we do here is, when someone wants to do something, they kind of want to learn everything, like everything that is there in the language. Believe me, it is very, very impossible. What I always did in my first year is, I always wanted to complete C++ in and out throughout. So it is never possible. What I'll recommend is just go through, learn the basics, how the function, how the language works, just get a small, just get a feel or gist of how the language works. Then just enter, try solving all the questions. If you don't know how to solve the question, there's something new. There'll always be something new. Learn it and just move on. So that is how you learn stuff fast. It doesn't mean that you don't learn anything and you directly jump solving. You just have to get a gist of how things work, so that you'll know what to Google if you're stuck. Okay, rule number one. Now, why are we going through this? We'll not be going through each and everything, but whereas we'll be dealing them when we're solving few problems. Okay, so there will be a lot of things which will not be used while solving problems. So there is no use if you learn them or not use it. So just learn the basics, get a gist of the language, so that when you're stuck, you'll know how to Google with the knowledge of how the language works. Cool. Now coming to the basic primitive data types, these are all the data types. Put them in your head. Okay. So there are int is basically a normal whole integer. Yep. So float is basically a 4-byte. It can contain fractional values. Okay. A double will contain fractional values. So just ignore float and you can use double. Okay. If you are ever using fractional numbers, you'll be rarely using double. Okay, as far as my experience is concerned. And then Boolean, it will have two values, either true or false. And char is a character. Okay, character is, you can go up a little bit. This is not that much helping. No, up. I mean, okay. Yeah, you can see it. So in int, you're giving it a number. In float, you're giving it a floating number. So why do we call it a floating number? Is it doesn't stick with the whole number. It will always be in between. So even if you give for a float number as an integer value, it will convert into a float number. For example, my float number is equal to 5 you give, but it will save it as 5.00. Okay, so that is how it works. And then there is a character where you give. So in C++, how do you deal with strings and character? Whenever you're representing more than one character, you have to put double quotes. Whenever you're representing a single character, you have to put it in single quotes. Okay, only then it will become a character. If you put that particular character in double quotes, then it will become a string with one character. So does it make sense?
Single quotes for characters and double quote for string.
Strings, basic rule. Okay, cool. Now let's go to operators.
Okay.
You can go one by one. Numbers, booleans, if you want.
I think we can skip them. We can learn them in operator better.
Yeah. So this is basic plus minus. You can do all the basic math. Okay. And it's not crazy as how Python is. You have to do double slash to get an integer value. No. If you do a single divide, you will get an integer value only. If you want to get a float value, then you have to use a float variable. Only then you'll get float value. So just don't worry. When you will meet the questions which requires that, we'll go through it. So otherwise, you don't want to worry about that.
Otherwise, we won't even remember unless we see that.
Yeah, you try to do it. Very good point. Now what we'll do. Let's do a little promotion for CodeX. Okay.
Okay.
I hope people are still sticking with us. So how many people are not?
15, including our agents.
Cool. I'll just share all the questions link. Every time you can just explain people what you understood.
Okay. So today I learned about the basics of C++ language. So the basic structure which we require. So in Python we can directly print a statement, whereas in C++ we need to put some prerequisite code there, like hash include input output stream and using in namespace as std. These are requirements before you put any code. And then I've seen how to take input and taking multiple inputs as well, and declaring an integer variable. And just now we have covered different data types in C++. Also, we've seen giving outputs out and giving multiple outputs, giving outputs with different lines in different lines. For that, we have two ways, either the handle manipulator or a /n. Either of them you can use. So this also one thing in C++, everything should be inside a function, and the execution starts from the main function. So the first thing you need to do is you should put all your code in the main function, all the important code, the first code running code.
Excellent. Okay. Now.
So yeah, this is the int main function. Everything should be within the brackets of int main function. Most of it, at least for now, for the basic programs.
Okay. You can. There's a link which I've put in chat. You can open that.
Okay. Current presentation. Can you see that?
Yep. You didn't log in. Just log in through a hacker rank thing. Okay. So what is this particular thing? So as I said, we are a little bit different. We will not be going through all the basics because, believe me, it's nothing different from what we'll be learning in academics. So I don't want to be that kind of a guy. So what we'll be doing is we'll just deal with the main villain. So we'll just go solve all the. So what is this? If you know, we in CodeX we host a lot of coding contests. So in this, I suppose, other than the December's contest, we have all the questions that has ever come in a contest. This is like a kind of a portfolio of all the questions which has ever come in, which you have ever hosted in a contest. Okay, so we'll start solving one by one, how much ever we can. Okay, and yeah, we'll just start with maybe SAT computer is cool. Or we'll do audience poll. Audience, which question you want us to solve? Abbas, you were there in the, you participated in the contest, right? The December.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't come to the orientation, so you don't know about these questions.
Right.
Okay. So which question you want us to do?
Can we go with the easy one first? The sad computer.
Okay, let's go with chat computer. You read through them and explain them. Meanwhile, I'll add the December's contest also to the orientation.
So let's go to the question. There is a SAT computer waiting for process to get assigned through schedulers. Every process in the queue will have an unique ID from 1 to n. Okay. The computer wants to know EP and OP. EP is the number of processes with even ID, and OP is the number of processes.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Just can you explain them the if suppose assuming in YouTube at least there'll be people who'll be watching who don't know what HackerRank is and what is the structure of this question. So yeah, explain.
Okay. So HackerRank is basically a website for competitive code. It's a good website for beginning competitive coders. Here you will be having practice questions, and also whenever any club would be conducting a hackathon, for example, as CodeX will be hosting contests on HackerRank platform. So here you will be having a problem. The input format you will be having some. For example, you will be solving math problems, right? There will be some person who will go to a supermarket, he will be buying oranges or apples, something, and we will have to be doing something with that data. Similarly, there will be some situation or some sort of storyline here for every question. And after that, we'll be having the input format. So for the code you write, the compiler here, it will automatically provide you the inputs, and it will be automatically validating your code against different test cases, which are already in the HackerRank website for that question. And in those test cases, the input will be given in this format, and there will be constraints for the input, and after that the output format. So whatever the output that your code is providing, that should be in this particular format. For example, here for each test case, print a single line containing two numbers, EP and OP. So that is what your code should do. It should perform what it should do, and then at the end it should be printing here in a single line both the numbers. So here you have the sample output. See, you have a single line output, and both the numbers EP and OP are separated by space 2, space 2. And for every question, there will be a simple explanation for the sample input and sample output. See, there are two test cases, and for the case one, EP count is 2, 4. So that's how it prints. And now coming to this particular question, there is a SAT computer waiting for process to get assigned through schedulers. Every process in the queue. Okay, so those of you who are not familiar with data structures, just think of queue as something in something like a list. For this question, it's enough to.
We'll not be using a queue here.
Yeah, we can think of for visualization, you can just think of it as a list. So you'll be having a list of processes 1, 2, 3, and 4 like that. In that, each process will be having some number, and you want to know the number of processes. Each process will be having an ID, and what is the purpose of your code is that it should go through that list, and it should count the number of processes with even ID and the number of processes with odd ID, and that thing should be printed in a single line for each queue. For each test case, print a single line containing the two numbers EP and OP. So that is what this code means. And the input format, input and integer t denoting the number of test cases. So here it's 2. We have 2 test cases with 4 processes and 6 processes each. And the first and only line of each test case contains a single integer n. So you'll be having n process, out of which some are even and some are odd. You have to count the number of processes with even IDs and odd IDs, and you have to print them. So that's the intention for the code.
Okay, cool, well explained. So let's go to the one of the, so coming to the part where test cases, what are test cases? So from audience, does anybody know what are test cases? Well, come on, you don't have to shy away, because I don't know if
general discussion. It's like a friendly discussion. It doesn't matter if your answer is right or wrong. It just we want you to speak. It's a discussion. We're all peers, and this is a peer-to-peer interaction we'll be discussing. So there's nothing wrong in giving a wrong answer.
you can put it in the chat if you want. Okay, cool. Nobody wants to answer. So anyways, test cases are basically, it will ask you to solve the question, I mean the given problem those many times. Okay, so now coming to this particular sample input, you can see 2, 4, 6. That is, it is telling you to solve the problem 2 times.
Okay.
So what 2 times is individual. If suppose you write a logic, so if you, okay, I'll just break the spoiler for you. So the question basically what it is asking is, it is telling print the number of even numbers and number of odd numbers till the number n. So that is what the question is asking, ignoring all the story which is written by me. Okay, I wrote this question. So anyways, so given a number, it is asking us to print number of even numbers and number of odd numbers. Cool. Now you will write the logic. Sriram, could you write the logic in online?
Yeah. Online JDB, okay, using C++.
Yeah. Is that a question using C++?
So
what is the first thing you have to do? You have to take input. Ignore the test cases. Just imagine you're solving that for one input.
just the basic algorithm.
Yeah. We'll be giving you n.
Okay. I remember the input format. The first line of input is integer t. I can give any variable, but I'll go with t.
No, you don't have to. Just write for one n.
In t.
Don't have to include t. Just write for n. Just tell me. I'm giving you
int n. Okay. And then the cin value goes to n.
Yes.
So and now I can print the value maybe. Okay.
Yeah. Excellent.
Also, there is a second input as well. So I have to take
only
input,
one input.
n
Give you
number
one number.
right?
You have to print a number of even and odd numbers. That's all.
No, okay. So what should I do now?
Just print n.
Good. Cout. No. Towards cout, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Waiting for an input. I'll give 8.
Cool. So the thing is, now why is he able to solve this? Because till now he's had hands-on experience on all the basic things which you did. So now, if you're not able to, kind of remember CPP just discussed later before 2 minutes, but if you are not able to recap them and write code this much, then that just means that you need to have a little more practice. So now you can chill out and see when we upload the video to YouTube, you can put it in 4x or 2x, and then you can start off. You need to have hands-on experience. If not, you'll not have the kind of experience.
That is true. Unless there's the necessity for some function or some syntax, we won't remember that.
Yes. So yeah, now you know, right? If like we just have to print if n is an even number, then you'll obviously have equal number of even and odd numbers from 1 to n. If n is an odd number, you'll have one more odd number than the number of even numbers. Like if n is 3, then you'll have number of even numbers are 1. Number of odd numbers are 1 and 3, so it is 2. So here what you have to use, if at all you're doing it in Python, just give me a thought process.
We can use a for loop for I in range n. So n is whatever number you put. For I in range n, if I mod 2 equals to 0, print I. Or if you are using the general logic to get the number of count, if it's n, if it's 3, we'll be having 2 odd numbers, right? So if n is dot print n plus 1 by 2, or else if n is even, print n by 2.
Okay,
can do that.
excellent. Excellent. Yeah, do that. You have to use if now. Something which we have not learned. Now, what do? You
We'll
go to
open
Google,
W3
you
schools
search,
and
not W3, anything. Just go Google
Uh.
if else in C++. See, the first thing is W3 schools. Open that.
yeah, conditions less than greater than if condition is different. Yeah. If,
Now, this is what I do. If you want to implement something, I go search in Google. Okay, this is what the syntax is. I'll go back to my question and I'll write the condition. I'll write the code.
okay. So if n, for here I need the operators again. Okay.
What do you want? What operator do you want?
Operator n by 2, right? It's just a regular slash, right?
Okay.
Yeah, division. No, I need the
Modulus.
yeah modulus operator. So yeah, okay, this is the division reminder percentage symbol. If n mod 2 equals 0, and then I'll open the braces for this function.
So in every language, it is double equals to. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. So
That is
common.
common.
It's common.
So I need to print n by 2.
And n by 2 again, because you have to print two numbers.
Say again.
Because what does n by 2 mean?
N by 2. N by 2 is the number of odd numbers.
And also even
From
numbers.
yeah, okay. For this one, yeah.
Come on, Python.
Okay.
Hey.
How to print a space?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll give a
good.
space.
Shit, I was expecting you to do that mistake, man. Yeah, nice, cool.
Then this.
you did one blunder.
Colon, right? There has to be colon.
Yeah.
And the braces are right. Okay.
You don't have to check. Just go compile. The compiler will tell you. Just give n as 10.
Okay. 10, 5, and 5. Okay. See how I'm printing n here as well.
Yeah.
I have to remove that. Yeah. Now it's fine.
Fine. Now give 11.
There won't be any
Nice guess.
output.
Why is there no
Yes.
output?
So program control starts from here, intent, cn, and then if it goes to here, it's false, so it
Because,
doesn't
yeah,
execute the
doesn't.
code within the
So write
bracket,
else part.
and it will return 0. We're not printing any number, so there won't be any output.
Okay. Yeah, write else there.
Okay. For else if I need to see the syntax again. Okay, what's it? Conditions, right?
Yep.
That is if else if. Okay, it's the same as the Java.
Yeah.
Else if condition 2. And the
So
final
which
would
one?
be else.
In this case, which one you have to put?
Even and order to complementary things, so I
Yeah.
think there is no difference.
Nice. You have your math strong. So what he means is, if it is not an even number, obviously it is an odd number. So you don't have to check for the top odd number case again. Whereas this guy is checking. Why are you checking now?
Okay. Yeah. But what we are printing first? First the even or odd EP and OP. So even numbers. Let's take an example 3. We would be having only 1. So
3 by 2 is how much?
3 by 2, just 3 by 2. Here in just you said earlier, it will go to integer value. So 3 by 2 is 1.5.
1.2. So
But
it
if
will
you
truncate to
consider
1.
it as a 1, it will
Yeah.
truncate it to 1.
Yeah.
And then a space. Or okay, no, it's not 3 by 10 by 2. 10 by 2.
Man, you're too good with your mistakes.
And the other one is n plus 1 in brackets.
Yeah, the same bottommost rule for every language. So nothing new.
Let's take this. Colon. Yeah, there should be colon. Okay, we'll give 11. Even and 6 odd numbers. Yeah, count is good. For 10 we had 5 and 5. Here 11 is an odd number, so odd now count will increase 5 and 6.
Yep. Cool. Submit the code now.
Okay. The same code.
Okay, wait. So, but the test cases are different here. So what this guy did is he wrote logic for one test case, but when you have to write logic for more test cases, that is, you have to implement your logic for different test cases. What you will do, Sriram, generally?
I'll put it use a loop.
Okay.
Use a loop, and okay, let's take another input. Another variable int t, and I have to perform this operation t number of times. So for that, I need to see the for loop syntax. Okay, while loop, for loop. First statement.
So this is the for loop in C++. That is, you can write whatever you want in the first statement. You can even write print. You can even write cout, or you can even pass a function. Doesn't matter. What C++ is expecting is it is expecting some bunch of statements, which it one statement to be precise, which it will execute once. The statement 1 it will execute once, but the statement 2 it will be executing every time the for loop will run. The statement 2, if it can be comprehended as a boolean value, it will check if it is true, it will go and it will continue the execution. If it is false, it will exit. The statement 3, after every successful execution, it will implement statement 3. So it doesn't have to be int I is equal to 0, I some condition. You can do anything. But for our
put
comfort,
that outside the loop and inside the loop for our increment as well. So
yep.
no need.
For our comfort, we'll be using this. So now we know the syntax. You can go back to the GDP thing.
So for the first statement, I need a count of number of times it being executed. So I'll initialize the integer variable I with value 0 for that. And I need it to run t number of times. So int, no, not int, I less than t. Wait, what is it, colon or comma? What should I use? Okay.
Colon.
And there should be colon between the statements. I less than t, another colon. And after every execution, the count should increase by 1, because obviously after every execution, one time the execution will be happening.
Yes.
So we'll increment it.
Now you just copy the whole your individual questions logic and you paste it in inside the mint.
So every time in the loop, an integer n should be taken.
Click on beautify once.
Okay.
The beautify button.
Okay.
You format your code. Okay.
Giving spaces.
You did not do that as much as expected. Okay, leave.
AI is too bad.
Yes. You can just go to a new one more tab and I'll just send you. Wait, you just continue coding. I'll just send you.
I have to remove this. Check if the brackets are all right. This function is closed. In function is closed.
I sent you a good formatter.
Okay.
Just do Control A, Control V.
The reloading will delete everything.
You can just click Control A and do Control V. Okay. 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 Run the code.
Let us see for the first test, first sample input 2.
So do not take T input. So click stop and you do.
T in to T. Okay. Four. To power 2.
Okay, now copy the code and paste it in hacker run. Language. There is 14 on the latest. You can just use it.
Copy a specific part.
You just copy the everything now.
I have to remove things again, which is.
I'll tell you how to do it. Copy the whole code. Okay, you did it. Nothing now, man. Yeah, submit. Yeah, run the code. Yeah, that is right. You do one thing. Go to GDB.
Okay.
Control A. C. Control C. So now come back to the first tab, and then here Control A, Control V. So select all and paste. Yeah, now you can run the code.
Printing everything in one line. Okay. How to put the end line.
So for at the end of every for loop, you can put just cout endl instead of putting 2 times inside the if.
Where's the bracket exactly?
See, it's getting highlighted. No, else bracket. Go there. Else bracket is getting highlighted.
I can't see it clear. Okay. Color is changing. Okay.
Yeah. So now you can do cout endl.
After this else, I should put it.
Yep.
Cout and then color.
Yep.
The test
Cool.
sample test case.
Cool. All the test cases passed. Now I'll like paste the code in the chat. I'll kind of change the code a little bit.
I think we have it.
Yep. Can you stop sharing? Okay. So now this thing I can do it in another way. So there is C++ 20. I did not know. So instead of doing like this all hectic and stuff, what we'll do is we will write a void function. So this is a syntax for a function. Okay. You write the return type and you write the function's name and write whatever parameters you want inside the particular parenthesis, and then in curly braces you write the function's body. Okay. Now here what I'll do, I'll just bring the whole code here. Vector is there inside, and then I'll paste it here. Now, here, this is what I'm doing here. Now I can go back here. I'll call it solved. So, do you think it will work?
You're not passing any arguments. Okay, no arguments are required. So yeah, I think it will work.
It will work. Cool. So I'll just run the code. So it is telling solve was not declared. So why? Because we declared everything according to syntax wise, but it is telling solve was not declared because when it is getting executed, whatever is there above this will only be seen. Whatever is there below this, it will not be seen for that particular execution. Okay. But in Python, it is possible. You can declare your functions anywhere. It is possible. So now what you want to do, let's say you are an adamant person, you want your function to be below it only. You can copy the functions. Every function has something called as its signature. Okay. The main function signature is this. Int main. This is the signature. That is, it is accepting 0 arguments and the return type is 1. Int. Okay. So you can have something like this also. Int main and int. It is accepting an integer and it is returning an integer. So these two functions are different because these two functions are having different signatures. Okay. So how does this function look? We'll do an int main and int from, and you will return from. Okay, because you have to return an integer, I'm returning an integer. It can also be like this. You can put a char there. So I'm doing a char ch. So I'm not using ch, but still, so you get the point. So this is how the signatures are. Now you have to declare your function signature. What is my void signature? I'll do this void solve. Okay, now let's see. Okay, I'm coming in the wrong question. My bad. Where is this question? Orientation. So I'll just do C++. Oh, okay. I did this. Now what I can do? I'll just run code. Okay, I'm not doing the endl thing. Okay.
Endl I did not change in 3D.
Cool. I'll just do cout endl. Everything is working fine. Okay. You can do this in different way also. Instead of, if you don't want to write the signatures thing and all, you can just write it above like this. Just run the code so that we don't have any no compiler mistakes. So you can just put it here. Okay. So now instead of for loop, you can do because you're using an extra variable called as integer. You can use a simple while loop. And you can see there are no curly braces here. But still my code is working. If you don't include a curly brace, then the function body will become the line that is right below it. If you use the curly braces, whatever is inside this thing, it will get executed those many times in the for loop. Now, if I had to replace this, what I can do is I'll do while and then I'll do t greater than or equal to 0. 0 greater than 1, 0, and then I close the bracket. Now here what I'm doing, every time I just convert this t to a small one.
Okay.
How many times will this get executed?
ETT.
Suppose t is equal to 2. 2 will come, it will go, it will execute this once, and t will become 1 now. Now 1 will come, it will go through this until it becomes 0. 0 is not greater than 0, so it will fail. So there is one more way Okay, let's just run the code and see if it is working.
Faulty. Give it up.
Yes, we did it. It's working. Now, there is even more simpler way to this. You can just remove this t minus minus here. You can have this happy one single line block, and you can put minus minus there. What is happening there? Because we put minus minus o in the towards the right side, that means that first, while executing, t's value will be obtained first. After the obtaining t's value, it will execute this expression. After executing the expression, it will go back to this t minus minus, because something called as minus minus is there here. It will decrement the value of t. Okay. Had I used this particular thing, because the compiler, the system is saying minus minus first, it will pick a t's value first, and it will decrement it, and then later evaluate this expression. Now let me run this thing.
That value would be given to t as well.
Which value?
Minus minus t value will be assigned to t as well at the end.
Yes, yes.
Every time t value will be updated.
It will assign here only.
T value keeps updating each time.
Yeah. I'll open my Sublime and I'll show you guys. Wait.
Yeah, so I don't think Python will be having this many possibilities.
Yeah, Python is not having this many possibilities. As far as I know, I don't think there is a decrement or increment operator.
There is no. We have in Java.
Yeah. So let us just say that just ignore my code. Just see on what I'm taking here. So basically, let's say I have a variable called as t, which is 10. Now I'm doing cout minus minus t. Okay. Let's just put int a is equal to t, comma b is equal to t. Okay. I'm doing a here, and I'll do a handle. I'm doing a \n. Then I am doing minus minus b \n. What do you think is the output?
Right?
Okay, same no. Same no, 99 for both. Now I'll just don't do this. I'll just do this instead of that. See, why do you think 10 has come here? Because when the compiler
printing b and then we decrementing.
Yes, after accessing the b's value, we're decrementing it, because the first thing it sees is the b, not
Left
the
to right.
yes, left to right execution. So that is one. Yeah, very good, important. So right after that, I'll print b. Okay. And here also, right after that, I'll print a. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, just ignore the warnings. You can see here the value. Well, I don't have to do this here. I'll just do.
Okay, these warnings are one reason we are putting this boring show, right? We want people to see that these things happen during
Yes,
code
yes.
execution and all.
Yes,
So
yes.
warning and everything is quite common. Maybe have. Yeah.
So the thing is, in C++, there are two things when comes when you're compiling stuff: errors and warnings. So you can errors. What happens with errors is it can't further convert it into executable code, because errors are very strict rules that you are not following. But whereas when warnings comes into picture, there is no problem in converting that to executable file. But they're just letting you know that, dude, see, there is like a very feeble rule that you're breaking, but that's okay. You can still convert into a executable code. So that is the difference between a warning and an error. So why it is getting executed is because I have a warning, not an error. If at all that was an error, it would have not got executed. So you can see here, now I'm doing a minus minus a. So it will update the a's value first and then it is fetching. Here it is fetching the b's value first and then it is updating. So this is the kind of a thing. Now going back to this particular code, yeah, here I am. Now I did this, now it's not working because how it works is minus minus t. Let's suppose t is 2 here. For the first iteration, it will decrement t's value to 1. So t will become 1. Okay. Now 1 is greater than 0. Yeah, legit. So it will execute. Now going back again, now t's value is 1. It will decrement t to 0. Now 0 is greater than 0. No, it's false. So it will just kick out. No, I'm not going to execute. So that is why it is printing once. But whereas you have to print twice. Now what you can do here, you can put a greater than or equal to 0. It will work. Where is the running thing? It will work. Cool. Now instead of this also, there is one more thing. If you don't want to have the expression there, t minus minus, you can just put this t minus minus.
Okay, 0 is considered as false, right? Boolean.
Yes, yes. I had to like explain you this, so that is why I brought this thing up. So what actually happens this here is, instead of printing anything, I'll just do cout, and then I'll just do a backslash n. For the first execution, it will be 1. Okay, that is after the t is decremented, it will becoming 1. It will become 1. After the second execution, it will become 0. Why is it becoming 0? Because after that, you don't have to do anything because the number of times your code needs to be executed is 2. Okay, so here these are like many ways which you can write for us, but for your comfort, if you can anything you want to solve. You can just use this also. This is a plain thing. We'll be using this from now. Okay, so it is now 5 o'clock. So if you guys are busy with something else, you guys can leave. So no worries about that because we have to shoot this till 6 or something like that, so that we will be uploading this to YouTube. So yeah, but you can still stay. Okay. So is that okay, Sriram?
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay, cool. Now, yeah, I'll send you the code here. So let's just say we'll use this as a template from now. Whenever you're solving a question, you'll follow this.
Yeah. What's the difference between solve and using a simple for loop? So where do you get the difference?
The only difference is code readability. It will be more readable. Okay. And if you're not using a for loop, you'll be saving memory, very little memory. It's very feeble. It really doesn't matter. But for namesake, you'll be saving integer I. You'll put int I is equal to 0. No, if you're using a while loop. If you're using solve, you'll be using more memory when compared to having your logic put here. But the only thing is the code will be more readable. And you can just fold this main function, and every time you can come and solve here things here. That is the only reason. There is nothing more. And this is my style. So if you are a person who would like to have everything inside while loop, you can do it. I'd prefer having my logic outside where I can concentrate on my logic instead of these while and t's. So yeah, that is what I do. So what is your style, Sriram?
I haven't used this solving thing earlier, but sometimes for Python Java programs, in Python we have to put functions separately, right? So there I definitely have to. Whereas in Java, okay, I generally go for loops. I don't do this thing, but if there is a need for explicit function, for as in recursion, I have to do it.
Only when there is a need, you go.
Yeah. But for loops, I haven't tried this. I haven't heard of it. So
okay, let's solve like more 4 or 5 questions till you are satisfied.
Will do. Okay. Share the screen, right?
Yep, you have to share the screen. Don't remember. You don't have to forget what I told. Control A, Control V.
Okay, that's the you send the whole code, right?
Yeah, in the template I've sent you in.
Okay. That's fine. Right.
Yep. You can just copy that to your clipboard and then let's go to the next question.
There is no solve. Okay, okay, it's folded, right?
Yeah.
And there is no solve.
What?
There is no solve here.
Where?
I think you folded your solve, so I did not get that text.
No, you don't have to. Just don't worry. This is a template where we'll use. So you
Okay,
can go
okay.
to the next question. You have the code in your clipboard, right?
Okay, okay. This is the general template. Okay, okay.
Your general template, generalized template.
Understood.
Yeah, you can go to the next question. Come back. We'll pick. We'll pick. Which one? Loki. Yeah, cool. Easy question. Let's do that.
Control V.
Yeah, there is a you can maximize thing. I just did no, so it will come. Yep, we can read question also.
Question, I think we have C22.
Yep. Yeah. So, did you solve this question?
I did not attend Loki contest. Code against him, I did not.
Okay.
I attended Valorant and Spider-Verse we were organizing, right? So I couldn't. Okay. Now even an incident. Okay. Number of variant votes possible from the list. So it's like a permutation, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, not permutation, same word but different cases. Uppercase and lowercase. Okay.
Yes. We can maybe call it as a combination stuff. I don't know.
Number of combinations excluding this original one.
Yes.
So -1. Okay.
Yeah. So how do you know?
Quite so. Okay. Here we have two letters L and O. We are not changing the order. And for each letter, there will be two cases, uppercase and lowercase. So for the first letter, it will be two possibilities. And then for the second word, the second letter, there will be two. And for the third one, there will be two more. So the total number of, to get the total number of possibilities, we should be multiplying them. So 2 into 2 into 2 into and so on, the number of letters there. So
Here
it
your
is
real deal comes in because you don't know how strings work in C++. So
yes,
in your thought process, what you're telling is you basically get the length of the you know the length of the string and you print 2 power n minus 1.
Yeah, that's the normal thing we do.
Normal thing.
So for that, we need to find the length of the string first.
Before you find the length of the string, you have to know how to input a string.
Yes, that as well.
Yeah. We'll start.
Okay. You go. GDB. Control V.
And one more thing, we have to take a look, take into account is in the question there are no test cases. Okay, now what do you do here? What I generally do here is you can put C in T in a new line. Okay, and then just initialize T is equal to 1. In the declaring only, not in a new line.
Okay.
Yeah. Now what I do is if there are no test cases, I'll just comment C in T. So my solve will run once. So for this question, there are no test cases.
Say again, come again.
Because if in a given question, if there are no test cases, then what I'd be doing is I'll be coming and commenting out C in T.
Okay.
Comment out C in T. Yeah.
Okay.
Now what will happen? Solve will only run once. And that will satisfy the condition of no test case. And you can still use the given template.
How does it actually, if we are not having any test case, then it should run even one time, but here it is running one time. So where does that input come from?
What? If you don't have a test case, if you don't have test cases, that is here it will only give you one particular. It will ask you to solve the question once.
Okay. You have only one type of input and no additional test cases.
Exactly.
Okay.
I didn't put it in the correct way. My bad.
One input is there for sure, right? That's
Yeah. When they don't have multiple test cases, yeah, then you can comment out T and you can still have the privilege of using this template.
Okay. So we know this knowledge earlier. I mean, you have prepared the question, so we know that there are no other tests. Okay. 1 minute.
It's given in the question, though.
Okay. We'll be having only one string input. Okay.
Yeah,
one string input. So one time we'll be solving it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be using this same template again and again. So we can just make a small modification. That's what we said, right?
Yes.
Okay, understood.
Now you have to Google out like how do you take a string input.
Okay. C++.
You can just Google. You don't have to search here. Just Google.
There's a string here. C++. Okay. Smallest string in Java, it's capital
It's
S.
capital.
Capital S. Here it's smallest. There's a difference. To use string, you must use an additional header file in the string library. So I should put this as well.
Yes.
To use strings. Okay. Now I can use strings. And then string something name equals to input.
User input strings is there, you see. In that section only.
The solver. Again.
In the left side.
Okay. User input. Okay. First we have to declare, right?
Yes.
String. What's the thing here? You can use
W.
anything, but just for the
W.
string capital W colon. Cin will be going to capital W colon. And now we should find the length. Okay, is there any built-in method type of thing in here to find the length? String methods, everything. Okay, let me Google that. C++.
Instead of methods, you could have Googled how do you get length of a string. Well, yeah, this is also a good one, but just telling.
Okay, now for this particular question, that would be 10. Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm a lazy guy. I don't want to read other stuff. So yeah.
Okay, there is a length function.
Yes.
Variable name dot length.
Yeah. See, whenever you're using a dot operator, that means it is a object, right? Object or some sort of structure.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it is a class defined, and from that class we are bringing this. Yes.
Yeah. We are not using any new operator. We are not using any constructor, but these are like ways to initialize things and just keep in your brain that everything is an object.
Yes. This class is already built in, and using include a string, we are bringing those methods here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now I need a int w to hold this. Okay, int n to hold this value. Int n equals to variable name dot length. Okay. Now I need the exponent operation to get 2 power n, or I can put it in a loop. Exponent is better.
Yeah.
Operator.
There is no exponent operator here.
Exponent operator. I think we should import from math maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
C plus C out square root. I think it's going to be
EXP. Okay, you have power. Yeah, cool.
Power. So how to use it? Should we include C math?
Yeah.
That should be the thing.
This is a little becoming different libraries again and again. So I'll tell you a simple trick where you can avoid that.
Okay, we'll do that. Cmax, Cout, square root. Okay. Cout,
POW.
pivot W. Is it small p or capital P?
Small p, small p, small p.
Small p. Okay, I think it's a convention. Every method should begin with small letter, right? Classes will be beginning.
Yeah, but
That's when
don't expect that from C++ because this is a boomer language. This uses something called as a snake case.
power of x to the power of y. So
Base first, power next.
power next power is n minus 1. Okay, I want the whole thing to be printed. So
No,
I
no.
put it in
If you don't use that
brackets.
also, it's okay.
Okay, I wasn't sure of that, so I used it. That's it, I guess. Columns.
Yep.
Three, it worked. Then, okay, we'll see for another thing, another length. 15, 15, right? Okay, 2 power 4, 16 minus 1, 15. Yeah, it's worked. Okay. Is there anything to add here?
Nothing. You can just
To make
copy
it
and
bigger.
submit once. After
Okay.
submitting,
How to do
send me
it.
the code. I'll try to minimize this.
Okay.
Hemant,
Jaideep, did
Did
you
not.
call me?
huh?
You called me?
No, I called Hemant. Everybody are gone, so you guys can talk now.
Jaideep.
Passing a test.
It's not passing one test case, sir. Click on that, you can download.
Okay, the contest is over, right?
Yeah. Holy shit. So what is the output? What the output you are giving? Well, you didn't do anything wrong. It's a simple question. Okay. Guess what's wrong? Hemant, guess what's wrong? Arey, just run the code, dude. Copy that thing and give it to your input. You'll understand what's wrong.
GDP, right? I think I closed GDP.
It's
No,
okay.
no,
It's okay.
it's in a different app. It's in a different app. Okay, it's there.
Run and copy the string.
Okay. Done.
Okay, you're not able to paste. Just okay.
Stop.
Stop.
Unable to paste.
No, just stop. I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
Instead of interactive console, just give you text there.
Okay.
Yeah, paste it here. Yeah, now run.
Okay. Power goes to input and this number is out of integer range, right?
I guess that is what it is. Yeah, instead of int, do a long.
Okay. Power returns an integer, so I should convert this to long maybe. What should I do now?
Just save that to one variable, dude. Save that to one variable, answer, and then see what answer.
No, it's fine. 2097151.
You understood what I was saying?
Typecasting.
Yeah. If you had to print
So
it like that only, there is one way I think.
yeah, let me update my code first.
Yeah, you just submit it. Later, give it to me. I'll play with it.
Uh,
Hemant, are you following, dude?
Yes, I'm following.
Do you like C++? Do
Ah,
you like C++? Open an editor. That is a you can't edit here. You
okay.
got to open an editor first.
Okay, okay. That is the new one. That's it.
Accepted. Cool. Now paste the code in the chat box.
I think in Java, the promotion happens automatically, right? From int to long and everything if required. Maybe not. If it's required for some operation, then it happens. But here, I don't think it would happen for Java.
Any language, yeah, promotion happens, but not the other way around. Like you can't convert long to int automatically
Long to int won't. That
because
should be done
there is some
explicitly.
data that will be lost. So the language will not implicitly convert. Whereas from
Yes.
int to long, there is no data that will be lost. So there is no problem. I mean, it makes sense to convert without intimating the user. So yeah, you send the code, and do you want to continue? Yes. Share. Okay. Now I'll go back to the question. I'll go to Loki. Okay, now here, instead of doing this, maybe I'll copy this and paste it here. Okay. Instead of this, I'll do this maybe. Let's see what happens. Okay, still not coming. Wait, I'll check again. Yeah, like you told, I think we have to cast it only. Okay, I'll just give a custom input.
You need to pick a word.
What is the maximum length of a string? 50. Okay, it is still giving the wrong one. Yeah, here is the last option to just cast this to long. Yeah, it worked. Yes, that is one way of doing things. So see, I did not know this till now. I learned something new. Okay, so well, what did we learn now? Maybe you have to do episode 2 to learn STL now, because it took a lot of
Yeah, STL should be done as a separate video.
separate thing. So now what functions are over? Input output basic strings are over.
This template, post increment and pre increment, how they're assigned by output and input that we saw. Loops for loop.
Good question. If there is a maybe we can use max thin cans as a last question. Yeah, do you think we can do max thin cans?
What is it again? Max
It's a
10
question
cents.
in the
Okay,
orientation contest.
I'll share my screen.
Yeah.
Max 10 cans. Okay. He returns 3 cans. You will get a new one. Okay. Yeah, I think I should put it on a paper. I can't do it directly.
Okay, do one thing. Open a whiteboard in your. Do you have a mouse? Mice? Something
No, no,
like
I'm
that?
using trackpad, not.
Sad for your kid.
Okay, I'll try to type.
Well, it's okay. I'll share my screen because I
Okay,
have a
okay.
book. Mice. I just feel bad that I created the question and I'm trying to solve it. Do you want to explain the question?
It's fine. But I'll be doing parallel here on paper and I will tell you what to
Okay, cool.
put there.
Hemant, are you there?
Every second, it's below.
Yes.
So, 5.
I can't hear you.
SJ, I'm there.
So, do you want to explain?
Yeah, explain.
So you'll share your screen. It's okay. Just tell what you understood.
No, you only share the screen next one. No, I just want to leave them.
Okay, cool. So let's see what they're telling. So there is a kid called as Golu, and currently he has n Fanta cans in his house. Okay, and the Fanta CEO gave him a special offer. That is, if this guy returns 3, let's suppose he returns 3x Fanta cans to the CEO. Okay. Oh shit. CCO I wrote. If he returns 3x cans to CEO, then that CEO will give him X cans back. That is, if he returns 3 cans, he'll return 1 can. If he returns 6 cans, he'll return 2 cans. If he returns 3 into 10 cans, he'll return 10 cans. Okay, that is empty cans. Now you have to help Golo drink as many cans as possible during this offer. Okay, now let's just try and analyze a given test case. Now we have T here and we have N here. N is what? N is a Fanta cans that he has it at his home. That is the initial one. Okay. Now let's take 3. 3 he'll take. He'll give the 3 to, he'll drink 3. This is what happens. Whenever I try to use my mouse, it will get stuck. Hello.
No problem.
Yeah, my stream is stuck.
It's a wireless one.
No, it's a wired one, but can you guys, is my video also stuck?
Video is fine. Video and audio is fine.
But my screen is stuck. You guys can't remove me from the meeting, no, because I'm the host. Hello.
Yes, we can't remove you. You have to exit without ending the meeting.
Can you speak?
Yeah.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, cool. So anyways, going back to the problem.
No.
Eh?
Nothing.
Nice. You know that this will be going live, no? No editing and stuff.
Mm,
Manoj, you're recording, no? Because my system got restarted.
Just
So I can't
continuous
record.
recording.
Okay. So from next time I'll come from two PCs. Okay. So
Don't worry, I am your second PC.
so we are having n cans, and for every 3x cans we give, we get 1 can. I mean x cans. Okay. Now for this given test case, let's consider 10 as an example. Okay, cool. 10 is a good example. If we take 10 as an example, then what we'll be doing is we'll be having 9 tin cans. Let's suppose he'll drink all 10. Okay. So this is the cans which he drank. He drank all 10. Okay. Now he is left with 10 empty cans. Now in these 10 empty cans, he'll have 1 empty can, and he'll give out all the 9 cans to the CEO, and this guy will get back more. More 3. So what this guy will do? He'll drink more 3. So this guy will drink more 3. So he'll have 4 now. Yes, exactly. He'll have 4.
Then he'll give 3 more. He'll get
4
1 more
empty.
can and 2 will be left.
Yeah, he'll have 4 empty cans. Now from this, he'll give out all 3, and he'll get 1 full one, and he'll again drink out all of them. So he'll be left with 2 empty cans, and then so he has drank 1 more. So basically, yeah. So we'll have 14. So this is the answer. How do you implement it? What is the first thing that is striking your head?
I think I should add okay, I will take a sum variable, and first I'll add the total number of cans he has to that, and then while number of cans greater than or equal to 3, I'll put a condition. That's what I'm thinking in mind right now.
Yeah, excellent.
I'll be updating the number of cans he'll be having at the moment, and after it's updated completely, I'll be adding each time. So the next thing is updating that. Updating would be so highest multiple of number of 3s in 10 would be 3. We need to find algorithm for that, and then 1 would be left, and that remainder we should be adding to the total number of cans left. So after the first exchange, he's left with 4 cans.
Okay.
4 empty.
So let's go to code now.
Yeah,
Let me copy the
template.
Is it in the chat? Okay. Can you send the template in the chat once?
We have it. Yes.
Because my chat got cleared.
Yes, it's in entity.
Okay. So yeah, thank you. Now I'll open my Sublime. So yeah, here it goes. Okay. We always have test cases, so we'll take in n as the number of cans. Okay, we'll take input. How do you take input? You do cin. You do cin, and then you do n. Now, as he told, let's declare variables. Int is number of empty cans is equal to, obviously we'll drink all of them, n. Okay, and have one more variable, which is number of, that is just answer, no, number of
answer
drank.
something.
Yeah, we have these things. Now while, like he told, number of empty cans is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, we'll be running this one because that is what he'll be doing. No, until and unless he has less than 3, he'll never be stopping. So until and unless he's having more than or equal to 3, he'll be always making a deal with the CEO. So now after this, what I'll do now, if the execution comes inside the while loop, that just means he's having a few empty cans which he can exchange. Now what I'll do, I'll see calculate what are the new cans that will come. That is number of empty cans by 3. Right. Suppose I have 10 number of empty cans, 10 by 3 is 3. I'll get those many empty cans
Okay.
back. So now what I will do, I'll do number of empty cans minus or equals to new cans, and answer plus or equals to new cans. What I'm doing here, what he will do, so the code is always, it's like how you speak, how you do stuff. So Golu is calculating number of new cans he'll get. So what he did, he just exchanged 1/3 of all the cans he had. Okay. And he calculated the number of cans. Now he's reduced, he separated all the 3x cans possible, maximum 3x cans possible into, yeah, separated. He separated. So he's now updating the number of empty cans left. Okay. The number of empty cans left will either be 1 or 2 or 0. That's all. Okay. And the number of new cans, he'll obviously drink them. So we will add it to answer. Now the twist here is the new cans will also give us empty cans. So now what we'll do, number of empty cans plus or equals to new cans. Okay. So let's try and print the answer. Okay, what I'll do is I have one test case. Okay, I have one test case and I'm having 10 cans. Did it go into a forever file loop? I'll just check in online. I get to know. Yeah, max 10 cans. Where is my code? Here is my code. Convert this into 20, C++ 14. Then paste my code here. I'll run my code. Let's see what happens. Your code did not pass this test. I'm not printing anything. If this is not printing anything, that just means it has gone into a forever loop. Yeah, terminated due to timeout. Okay.
We'll see how it's going then.
Okay, this is where we did wrong. So while separating them, what he'll do is the new cans is number of empty cans by 3.
Okay.
Those are number of new cans he'll get.
Yeah. Into
But not
3 we should remove.
Yes, exactly. Into 3. Shit.
Okay, can we put into 3 before the variable as well? Into 3.
No, it's my mistake, dude.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
3 into.
Yeah, cool, we got it. Yes, passed. Now the thing here is, yeah. So going through this question once, I'm taking input, and I'm drinking all the cans I have. What is your doubt you have, Manoj?
So actually, does this meeting ends directly at 6 o'clock, or it is manual, or it is automatic?
Automatic ends at 6 o'clock.
Oh,
We'll end at 5:55, right?
okay, nothing. Just asking, like, because we are not seeing the time now, so we are just concentrating on that task. So that's why if we are in the middle.
Okay, okay.
No,
Okay, understood. So anyway, we have the number of empty cans are n, and I drank all the n cans, so my answer will be n. Now, for every time Golu wants to make a deal with the CEO, he will check how many new cans he can get. Okay, and obviously, if he wants to get those many new cans, he needs to give the CEO 3 into those many number of new cans. So I'm reducing the number of empty cans Golu has as 3 into new cans. And then in my answer, I'm adding the new cans whichever I get because I drank them. Now in the number of empty cans, because I've drank all the new cans because I'm adding it to my answer, I'm adding the number of empty cans to, I'm updating the number of empty cans value. So yeah, this is how we do it. By the time Sriram is back,
No, still Siram is not back.
he'll be back in a minute, it seems.
Yeah, he is back.
Yep. Cool.
So,
I'm back.
what's the next question?
We will. There is a level 2 of this question, I think. Let's see.
We have it's 5:50 now. Do we have enough time for another question?
Well, I don't think. Let's just recap what we did. Yeah. In 5 minutes, we'll recap and then we'll end.
Cool idea.
So I'll pass it to you. You can maybe open WFE School's website and explain like what and all we did, what and all we did not do. Oh, Chandrasekhar, you're still there. Thank you.
Yeah, there is a comment.
Yeah. You can unmute and speak. There's nobody else there. No, yeah.
Thank you for the comment, bro.
In this boring session, yeah, not literally boring session. In this boring session, we learned many things about C++, right from the scratch, the basic structure, some data types, mathematical operations, looping, and some other templates which are used for CP, competitive programming. And now let's skip this part. We'll go to the syntax. Okay. We have the C++ syntax here. First, we have to include the IO stream. If you ask me the reason, well, even we don't know. We just have to assume that this is something which is to be included in every program and will continue. Same goes with using namespace std. We have to include these two in every program that we perform because we have been told to do so. And yeah, C++ is a function-oriented language, so everything that we do in C++, every code we put in should go into a function, and the execution starts from the main function. So that should be a mandatory function present in every C++ program we write. So in main, so here
First, you have function, 2 minutes more.
Okay, it will be returning an integer. So in main, and I'll put my code inside that, and the output cout is used for the output. So cout and left angle brackets, and the output thing will be going there. And after every statement in C++, you will be putting a colon. It's a statement terminator. That's a mandatory thing. So cout hello world. So you have to remember the direction here, and then you have the input, user input. 1 minute. So here it's the opposite direction of C input. So whatever the value you give through input, it goes to the value of X. So in C++, before declaring a variable, you should just specify its data type as well. So this is the syntax: data type, variable name, colon. That's for the declaration. If you want to initialize in the same step as well, data type, variable name equals to the value. So that's all about integers. And if you want to use strings, you should import a strings module. 1 minute. C++ strings.
Let's just go one by one. We covered.
Yeah.
We'll go to data type and operators, then strings.
Okay. We have to include the string library here. You must use this statement before you want to use string in your code. Okay, that's a must. And then the data types, you have these data types. These are the common data types we'll be using for this thing. You have the integer and the float. Integer are just the whole numbers. They don't have any fractional parts. Floating point numbers like float and double will be having fractional parts. So here's the difference between float and double. Float can store up to 7 decimal digits and double can store 15 decimal digits, so higher capacity. And then you have character, which is any letter or any other character which is enclosed by single quotes. So there's a difference between character and string. Strings are enclosed with double quotes, and character are just one character, whereas string is a sequence of characters. enclosed by double quotes. Characters are enclosed with single quotes. And then you have Boolean. Boolean can take two values, true or false, which are otherwise represented as 1 and 0 respectively. And then you have the operators in C++. So the output of every C++ operator will be an integer value that you should put in mind. For example, we think that 5 by 2 is 2.5, but in C++, when you perform this 5 by 2, you get a 2. So 2.5 gets truncated to the value of 2, which is a whole number less than the value of 2.5. Even if you get the result as 2.7, it will be truncated to 2. So just the whole number part will be retained for the result. That's an important thing to be noted. And this you have the increment and decrement operators here. And increment and decrement operators can be used in two ways: post increment or pre-increment. Post decrement or pre-decrement. There's a difference between them. You can see a sample program and know the difference yourself. So that's a dad joke, I guess. Do it yourself. And then you have the strings. Strings are nothing but a sequence of characters enclosed by double quotes. That's the important thing. And we did a few programs in C++ for the previous HackerRank questions, HackerRank contests conducted by CodeX. So they used a basic template, which can be, it suggested that instead of for loop, we can be using a while loop for using a decrement of increment operator. That
for test cases.
Yeah.
Cool.
For
today-
different number of test cases, instead of using for number of test cases, you will be using a while loop and with a decrementing variable. So it will be doing number of times. And if you are having only one input, you have to make a small modification, which is covered in this video earlier. You can check it out.
Cool. Now, for now, we have covered everything like basic. Well, we have covered all the declaring, for loop, while loop, and yeah. Maybe in the next episode, we have to only cover a few things like arrays, pointers, and reference, and then we'll maybe start a STL or maybe episode 3. Who knows?
A few string methods, maybe.
A few string methods here and there, and more about C++. So yeah, this is episode 1. Like, if you have liked what we do, let us know what you have liked. If you don't like, let us know what you don't like, so that we'll consider and we'll improve from the next episode. And if you have any ideas, there'll be a link in the description, or you can join the Discord, where we'll be putting a form. So yeah, just ask us for the form if you don't find it, but most probably it will be in the description. So you can fill the form and let us know if you want to join us in the next episode, or you want your idea to get implemented in the next episode. So yeah, see you soon. Thanks for attending.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks
Yep.
for attending.
Cool. So I'll end the meeting.
Thank you, Jake. It's a nice session. I learned many things about C++.
You still have one more episode. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep, I'm ending the meeting. Good evening. Good night.
Good day.